So I honestly don't know if there's any one of us who didn't consider running away at least once as a child. Like, if there is, let us know in the comments, because the rest of us have questions. So this was my own runaway plan as a kid. One of my mom's old friends lived close to our house, so I was going to pack a backpack and go to Auntie's house, and then I would explain my situation to her, like, Auntie, see, like, this is the deal with my parents, they've stressed me out, they frustrated me, I've had it up to here, I'm done, I'm breaking up with them. And of course she would understand my plight, buy me a plane ticket to Lagos, where I would go and live with my uncle. I would explain the situation, he would understand and raise me as one of his own, and that would be the end of it. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a solid plan, it was brilliant, foolproof. But unfortunately, lucky for my parents, my sister talked me out of it. One night we were just like, you know, laying in bed, and I told her the plan. I was like, see, I'm not gonna lie, I'm planning to leave you. I am planning to leave this family. And she was like, no, don't go now. See, I know that they're always beating you, but they'll miss you if you go. Don't go, just stay, they'll miss you. And I took pity on, you know, she and my family, and I stayed. Lucky for my parents. Now, first of all, I currently don't have kids, so I'm not speaking from the experience of being a parent, I'm speaking from the experience of being somebody's child. Personally, I don't like beating kids. I don't think it's the answer to every situation, but yes, I do think it's necessary sometimes because you have to save children from themselves. Now, that said, I've heard a lot of people say, you know, I'm not going to be my kids, you know, I'm not going to treat them the way my parents treated me, be slapping me as if I'm not somebody's child, which honestly is understandable, and it's all well and good, you know, to each their own. But something I'm realizing is that it's going to take a lot more than that good intention to handle situations differently when the time comes. I remember watching this show one time, and I heard somebody say that a lot of the things we saw our parents do as kids, we know were wrong or were harmful to us, and we told ourselves that we would not, you know, do those things when we got older. But then we get older and we see ourselves exhibiting those same behaviors because it's all we saw. And we never, you know, whether or not we realized it, we internalized a lot of those behaviors. Now, this is part of why people who grow up in abusive households may tell themselves that when they get older, they will never be that way to another human being. But then when they do get older, they see themselves exhibiting some of those same behaviors that they never explicitly unlearned. Now, Tessie, you're saying that it's going to take a lot more than good intention, admirable as it may be, to handle situations differently when the time comes. What does that even mean? I'm gonna hit you with some stuff from a German researcher called Gabriele Oettingen. I tried so hard to pronounce that name, but anyway. Basically what they found is that when it comes to motivation and achieving goals, positive thinking doesn't work nearly as well as we're told it does. It actually kind of saps out some of the energy needed to attain some goals. So they, through years and years of very exciting research, came up with a 4-step plan that actually really helps, like with, you know, achieving goals, motivation, all that good stuff. It's called W.O.O.P, so W-O.O.P, and it stands for wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan. So I'll give an example within the context of the conversation we're having. Wish. While I admire my parents, I do want to parent my kids a little bit differently. Outcome. I wouldn't want my kids to always want to run away from home all the time. Obstacle. Children don't hear word, and you're stressed and you're tired and they won't listen and they misbehave and all that stuff. Plan. This is how I'm going to handle this big obstacle in front of me. So basically what you're doing here is outlining the goal, identifying some obstacles to that goal, and then thinking of other behaviors, strategies, and methods you're going to use to discipline kids when they misbehave. And honestly, this isn't a critique of parents, because I have so much admiration for how they love unconditionally, constantly giving so much of themselves to other people, never asking anything in return, except maybe that you go to Harvard and become a doctor or an engineer, and don't get tattoos or piercings or wear ripped jeans or keep dreadlocks or be a bad person, and get married, have children, and of course make heaven at the end of the day. But my point is that nobody loves harder than a parent, and this is the way God loves us. All the things they do out of love. And that was such a digression. Okay, moving back to the conversation we're having. Over 20 years of research shows that W.O.O.P is effective and works in multiple areas of life, from weight loss to taking standardized tests to improving relationships and quality of life. So one way I implement this in my life is when it comes to waking up early. Literally the night before, I'm 1,000% ready to wake up early and get things done. But then my alarm goes off the next morning and that spirit of sleep is still dwelling within me and I don't want to stand up. I know that one thing that works for me when it comes to that obstacle is music. Music wakes me up. So once my alarm rings the next morning and I don't want to wake up, I just put on one of my Yoruba praise mixes, Yoruba praise mega mixes, and it just, something about the gongo invigorates my spirit and it gets me up. Basically, to summarize, the point is, all W.O.O.P is suggesting you do is make a plan, anticipate possible roadblocks to the plan, and then come up with a contingency or contingencies for when the plan goes awry, because those things will most likely happen a lot of the time. Children won't always listen to you. They will misbehave. There are some children that are stubborn. There are some children that are not scared of adults. Like, Lord Jesus. And again, I'm not anybody's parent right now. I can't imagine that parenting is easy. I know that children have the ability to send you over the edge. But I do hope that amidst all of that, parents know that their children love them and appreciate them more than anything. And honestly, I was exaggerating when I said I was like 93% ready to run away from home. It was more like 90%. Hi, mommy.